those here so I can familiarize myself with all of you guys. So thank you for being here. So what I wanted to talk about today was community. So hey, Katie and Bill and everyone else, thanks for being here. So about 5 or 6 years ago, I started a Facebook group with the idea from the coach that I had at the time that Zillow and Realtor.com leads were really popular, in quotes, out of quotes, that kind of stuff, and wanted to help develop my business to get to a point where I wouldn't have to rely on those leads for my business. So start a Facebook group or start a community group on Facebook to hopefully get those leads. My goal was a little bit different. I didn't want to start the group to get leads because I just wanted to have a community group. From my standpoint, if you go in it, you can do whatever you want, but my goal was have a different type of group that would provide value to those people in the community, and from there, whatever happened. And it has been an amazing journey. From the days of just inviting my friends to the group that were local, that were realtor or are realtors, or family members, to feeling like I was struggling for a year to get this off the ground, to then last year where I think we started around 12,000 members, and then ended the year pretty close to around 25,000 members. So we more than doubled in just a year. And then just, I guess, 3 weeks ago, we held an in-person event called Valley Palooza, where I had like a food truck or a bunch of food trucks, a live band, and about 1,000 people showed up, which was truly, truly incredible. So what I want to share with you guys, and then and real quickly to open it up for questions, is the idea of this, and I keep saying community because it is this all-encompassing thing, which is, if I can share my screen, not yet. If you guys on the back end are able to enable that, that would be awesome. But this community thing, what that means to me is where someone can go or a bunch of people can go to feel like they're welcome. So if it's online, in person, whatever that looks like. So because it was Facebook initiated, there's always a concern from my standpoint. Facebook's going to shut down. Something's going to happen to Facebook. So I want to get them offline as well. So I do have a website. So my brand is Living North Phoenix. So it's evolved into having this. So, and you guys, if you have a Facebook group or community or your past clients and that's your community, whatever it is, that's cool. I went into it with the idea that I want a logo that can go on stuff like hats, shirts, whatever. So that's what I have here. But I have, in addition to the Facebook group, I have a website. All of this is based around livingnorthphoenix.com. And then I funnel them, or try to funnel them, not in a sales pitchy way, to my newsletter and then to my website. And all of it is based around Living North Phoenix. So if you guys try to go to Living North Phoenix or Living in North Phoenix on Facebook as my group, I unfortunately won't let you in, because one of my rules that I started from the beginning is I don't want realtors in there. Now, when I started it, a couple of friends were in there and all that kind of stuff, but past that, I will do my absolute best to always not let realtors in. And the biggest reason is, and to each their own, everyone can do what they want and do what they and think what they want to think, is my experience has been that my my group engages at a very high level on Facebook. Realtors bring that engagement down. They're usually there to post their listing, to share something that doesn't involve anything except real estate. That's not what my community group is about. It's not that I'm concerned about them stealing my leads or getting my business or whatever. I've looked at people that I've accidentally let in or didn't know they were realtors, and then the one time they post in 4 years is about a house for sale. That's not the person that I want in the group. Now, yes, they're part of my community. Yes, I want people in the community in the group, but I don't want realtors. And everyone can think what they want to think about me about that. But it has served me very, very well. And there still are realtors just because that's what's happened. So I was hoping to be able to share my screen, but still not yet. But um, yeah, it is very reasonable. Um, and it's from my standpoint, while I don't use this as my database, Facebook is a CRM. So for those realtors that want to join, that throw a fit, and as Gus said, it's my group, my rules, is cool. If you want to have me let you into my group, give me your access to your follow-up boss, to your lofty. It's really no different. This is a community group. So if you want to get in, start your own. Like it's whatever. So we're at 29,000 members or so right now. Awesome. Just got sharing abilities. So let me see what I can do here. So the first thing I wanted to show you is, and let's see if I can get this to show up. So Living North Phoenix is the Facebook group. So, if you guys have questions about starting a group and need help with all that, I can go over that, individually or whatever. But 29,300 members. A couple of things I wanted to show you because a lot of people, especially as agents, something that usually will pop up first is, what do I post? So as an example, one of the things I also set when I began the group, I have a Thursday business thread because I don't want this group inundated with posts every day from different people. If I'm in a group, whatever that group is, especially about community, I don't want to see a post at 9 a.m. about, I'm an HVAC guy. You need your AC serviced. I'm in Phoenix, so that's a little bit more relevant. And then 11 a.m., let's clean out your chimney. And then at 1 p.m., if you need help with your landscaping. So every Thursday morning, 6 a.m., I have a Thursday post I create. Every week, I'll try different types of, if it's text or image or just a picture or whatever, including some comments I made. Had about 200 comments. I'll open it up just so you guys can see exactly what it looks like. So in here, reached about 3,000 people. Now, this is a private group. So within the group of 30,000 people, or 29,200, it reached about 10% of them, which is maybe average-ish, give or take. 200 comments, just business related. And there's times where I'll go through, as another side note, I'm not trying to get too detailed because I just want to give you guys the basics, because beyond that will probably overwhelm you and all that stuff. Um, and I don't know if I'll be able to find it quickly, but I've also started a business directory, which I do. It's free, but I also have a paid version. I will comment to people in the business thread uh, about joining that free directory. So now, and that's on my own website. So I'm, again, trying to get them off of Facebook, stay on Facebook, but get them somewhere also. So there's more engagement there, and then also to create more of a community offline for other reasons too. So that's real quick just about that. I'll come back to it. This is the website. So Living North Phoenix, and it's not real estate based. Does have a section for North Phoenix real estate, which not ironically is probably the least involved section that I have. I try to focus on businesses, restaurants, and some other stuff. So this is what that website looks like. You can go there. If you have a Facebook group already, I encourage you to start a website. If you don't, that's cool. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Just something I wanted to do because that's the brand I'm trying to create. But as far as other posts, yes, I said the group is not about real estate. However, I feel it's important for the community to know about real estate. So just a little bit ago, 28 minutes ago, I posted an Altos snapshot of a zip code. And I'm not going to read it line by line, but it basically says, here's the data. And if you want this for your zip code, comment below, and then I'll give it to them. It's not, are you looking to buy or sell? Nothing wrong with that. That's not my approach. And they can do what they want with it. It typically will have a very low reach. Sometimes it will get decent engagement, sometimes it won't. Some other posts, like one of my admin posted this picture or memes that are relevant to the area for the most part, because that's what we want to do. And then beyond that, as your group grows or your community grows, other people will post. So as an example, I'm trying to find this is a pretty good one. So a lost dog or a pet had 6,000 reach. So I don't know, is that 20%? 44 comments. So lower on the comments, higher on the reach. Someone else asking about children's swim lessons. So these kind of things, they take time. It took me probably 2 years to get to anywhere near the time where other people started posting. When I started posting, it was the really bad posts, like what's the weather like, or are you guys going to this game, or whatever crap that it was. It was really, really bad. But that's what it was like when I started it, because I didn't know what else to do and there weren't enough people. So yeah, so Gus, so as far as promoting engagement, I just saw the question now. So it's just like with any other business, and this is a business, is um it 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 takes time and it takes testing, and then over time that testing can change. So one of the rules, if I can find them, so I would also encourage you guys, if we're talking strictly Facebook groups, one of the biggest things that I would encourage you to do is, and Tristan had me do this or suggested I do this when I started coaching with him, was I don't think I can get it to show up on this end, but basically when you go to join the group or try to join the group, it'll pop up the rules. One of those rules is can't advertise your business, and there's no political discussions. So um, I I want to stay away from things that will cause the group to go south, in my opinion. And what I have been told since day one is this is a very drama-free group, unlike many other community groups. So the engagement stays higher. So to promote engagement over time, day one, it could have been a meme about anything. Over time, that could change. And it really, there isn't a solid answer that I can give you to say, you post this and it will happen, because it also depends on your group, your community, your vision. My vision was not real estate based. It was to create a community. So like when I have things like this event, and no joke, when we went around, we had about 40 vendors selling stuff that were there, whether it's, crystals or massages or candles or whatever. We spoke to them throughout the group, throughout the event, and then after the event through a survey and in person. They were even telling us from vendors that were at other events and have done other events and do events for their career or business, that the customers that they had come through were highly, highly engaged. They were buying stuff, but they were highly engaged too, which was very unusual for them because that wasn't those vendors' experiences at other events. So that the people that we try to have are just engaged through the community that I've created and the community's created. It's not just me. Um, I get messages, I don't want to say it, daily, but all the time, like, thank you for creating this drama-free environment where we feel safe, where we feel secure, where we feel um, like we're wanted here. Businesses supporting local is a big thing of mine. So those businesses feel like they can be there, they can be a part of it, they're wanted, they know that I'm trying to promote them on a free level. And if certain businesses want additional exposure, there's paid options for that. Um, so let's see. So just so I don't miss the question, Stephen. So my town's biggest community group has been obsessed for weeks over this lawsuit involving whether or not a veteran service dog was properly trained. Good for you to avoid pointless drama. Yeah. Um, so a couple other things which I think are important in starting the group, and keep asking the questions. If you want to throw it in the chat, cool. If you want to raise your hand, that's cool too. Is I do have post approval turned on. So I go through and I approve all posts, and I'll show you a couple examples, even though it is basic in nature, but still important to see. And then uh I don't have whatever it's called, like reply or comment approval turned on, and I've never had it turned on. Whether you have 100 members or in lab coats 160,000 members, that would be insane, in my opinion. I do have the ability for community members to report posts that if they feel something is wrong or violating rules, that I can then go through. So if the damage was done, I've missed out on it, but at least I can go through to correct that. But I strongly, strongly recommend turning on post approval. One of the biggest reasons is if I happen to have missed a realtor that is part of the group that wants to share their listing for sale, I don't want the group to see it. And other things. I don't want businesses to be shared, all that kind of stuff. So let's see. So Gus asked, as the group has grown, how is the work to do manage? So I run mine. We all run our groups differently, and it's a great question. I'm guessing, like many of us, a super big control freak. So I have two admin or moderators, whatever they're called by Facebook rules. Uh, I pretty much do all of it. So I accept people in or not. I approve all posts, and then I go through monitoring my stuff also. The admin's jobs primarily that I have are there to they will check to see if stuff is okay too. But their job is to share content when they can. I've structured it that way because one of my admin officially, or when he joined the group, was instrumental in causing the group to grow. So I was stuck at 300 for about a year. I think it was on a Tuesday. He became admin. On Wednesday, we were at 1,000 members. Friday, we were at 3,000 members. And I will never, ever forget that. And that allowed the group to go to where it went and continue to go. So from my standpoint, I don't need him to do anything else ever again. I'm very good with that because I don't know if I would have gotten to 1,000 when I did. Um, for other people, yeah, I look at other community groups locally and they have 30 admin, however big they are, and they invite people, they approve posts. That's not how I want it to happen. So that's how I have mine structured. But you could easily have, a virtual assistant in, team member in, whatever. Uh, Katie, yeah. And remember, when we're talking community, it's however you want to look at it. Your community could be your past clients, it could be your neighborhood, it could be your zip code. Mine is North Phoenix. I live in Phoenix. North Phoenix isn't really like, it's not a city, it's not a thing, it's a thing that I've created. Years ago, my real estate mentor gave me a book, and one of the rules in marketing was you want to be first. So I created this North Phoenix thing. That doesn't mean if you Google it, there isn't other stuff about North Phoenix, but my goal was to be number one for North Phoenix. And it's to attract people to the community, wherever that community is, Facebook, website, newsletter, in-person event, wherever, and keep them in that community so they can become my tribe. And maybe a question you guys have is, because if I was in your chair, I would be thinking, cool, this is great. You're doing all this stuff. It takes up your entire day. What do you get out of it? Why waste your time on it? Uh, I'm not wasting my time. I actually have gotten tremendous reward inside just from helping people. Um, I truly care about that. The community means a lot to me. But on a financial level, there is no question I've gotten deals from it. The deals and leads I get from it are most of the time, I don't have the stats with me, and if you're really curious, I can send them to you. But I don't know, 90% of the closings I've had are from people direct messaging me, not from a post, just direct message, because a direct message can't be from a post, and saying, hey, Blair, we want you to sell our house. Me going out whenever I go out, a day or a week later, and it's those come list me calls or come help me buy calls. And they don't interview anyone else. They just want to go with me because I built the trust and rapport in their eyes through the data that I've provided, which I provide in a non-salesy way, in my opinion, and then from the engagement that I've had. So a real quick thing, and I know I'm yapping and it might not seem like I've taken a breath, but I could talk for hours about this, as you guys can probably tell, is there was a period of time, like 6 months or a year, 2 years ago-ish, when one of my admin, I gave her authority to do this. She would share memes about everything. And I was like, this is amazing. The engagement is through the roof, which it really, really was. Group was growing. Everything was awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Not so cool, because basically what happened was during that time, the community members knew nothing about me because I wasn't posting, I wasn't engaging. So you can have assistants, admins, moderators, do whatever you want them to do. But if part of your goal is to get business, however you want to look at that business, whether it's through other channels, monetizing, whatever, is I completely had the group not know about me, which was a big mistake on my part. So I'm trying to engage in there on a daily basis. So if I see a post about, um, this is a lost dog, I'm like, oh my God, it's so sad. Hopefully we can find the owner, whatever, all that kind of stuff. And I care very much about pets. I'm not trying to just pass it on. So that's about that. So other Katie, if you have connectivity issues, hopefully you can make it back. Gus, another question. How do you grow a group? Mine's been stuck at 5 to 6,000 members. So, Gus, if you want to throw it back in the chat, and thanks for all the questions, I appreciate it. You're still trying to be number one. I get it. Show off. It depends on the group. I don't know. So if you want to throw that in the chat, then I can better answer it. Augie, same. Depends on the type of group. Once I know the type of group, it's a little bit easier for me to kind of guide that line of answers. Katie Curling, yes, 100% reciprocal. So, and here's the other thing, like, so I had my in-person event, as I told you, Valley Palooza. Um, the businesses that were there, like, they will probably know I'm a realtor eventually, um, whether directly initially or not, through those relationships, without being like, hey, Gus, I'm a realtor. Who do you know that's looking to buy? It's just, to me, a natural way to do this. And it's been very effective for me. So going back, I kind of skipped over this. So the first year of having the group, no deals whatsoever. Again, I was at 300 members. They were all friends or realtors that are friends of mine locally. Yes, I said I don't let realtors in, but initially I did. Um, After that, I think the first year I did 3 deals, and then every year after that, I probably have averaged around 6 or 7 deals from it. Um, and keeping in mind, that's without trying to promote myself or do anything. And as I've done other things and grow the group, part of my goal is to do more deals, but I'm still going to stick to what my vision is, meaning not be a real estate group. Now, if I get a listing that's in the area, I will 100% promote it, but I won't say like, I will basically say this is a community member's home. They're trying to sell it. Who do you know? Maybe some of you are going to say, well, it's the same thing as just pushing a listing. I say no, because it's not like this is my listing. Here it is. Here's a community member's listing. Are you guys interested? Who do you know? And if it's someone else's listing for sale that's in the group, that's a homeowner that shares it, yes, I will allow it. If it's another realtor, I will not allow it. That's a business post, which I don't allow. So Stephen, I personally recommend making someone else a moderator, but only an admin. Only admin could kick you out. Yeah, so I'm the only um, moderator. Everyone else is an admin, so I have full control over everything. Um, so the other people below me, they can look at stats, but they can't kick me out, which is obviously a concern. Yes, Katie Curling, 100%. Build it and they will come. And I keep showing this because it happened about a month ago. Um, After this happened, I was seriously going through withdrawals, no joke. Like almost 1,000 people showed up. And not everyone was from the Facebook group. They were from the area, but not the Facebook group. The idea that at some point in the past, I started this vision online of just myself, and now there's 29,000 people in it. But then for this event, for 40-ish people, business owners to pay me to be there, for food trucks to show up, for all of this to happen, um, the community came together and everything did come together. And it was truly amazing. It's an annual event or will be an annual event. This was the first time. So, um, Gus, your community is real estate agents. Um, so for that, I mean, I think my approach would be going to other Facebook groups and continuing to provide value as you do, and letting, within the group rules, letting them know that you have a group. If the group rules say you can't promote your group, then it's tougher. But hopefully you're able to share content, whether it's a blog or whatever, that has a link back to your Facebook or a link to your website or Facebook group so they can see what you're doing and then join from there. Um, and then within your group, letting everyone know, invite their realtor friends and that kind of stuff. Um, and lab coats is obviously the biggest, and it's tough to compete with that. But there's always a spin on it. Like I'm not the biggest community group in my area by any means, but I also pride myself on that because I approve all members. And while they don't necessarily need to be local, I make sure they're not a bot. I go through other stuff. So we could probably be 100,000 members. And while that might be a goal of mine, um, I still would prefer quality over quantity. Um, Katie, yep, totally serving. Jake, thank you. So I know I was late getting in here, not my fault. I will blame it on someone else, but we're running close on it being over. So yeah, all your fault, Jake. So going back to my group, oh, this is what I want to show you. So member requests. So we have 11 members to join. So Katie, you're at the top of my screen. Can you raise your hand if you can see this? Cool. Awesome, both hands. Okay, so this is a perfect example, and I did not see this earlier, and I'm so glad it's here. Really, this was requested 8 minutes ago, so I didn't see it earlier. So some of you guys might be wondering, because I've gotten the question before. If you already know the answer, cool. On mobile, you can still see it, but it's easier on desktop. So the question might be, how do I know a person's a realtor? Well, if you have the option to approve members, which again, I strongly recommend that too. So I will go through, and it's not that I don't trust my admin or moderators or whatever they are, or whoever they are, and they're very important to me. I don't mean that lessening to them, is I will see if she's a realtor. Now, not every realtor has their profile set up to show that they're a realtor. However, they will in their groups in common. So on mobile, you can still see this easier on desktop. So if you see, or in this case, I see they're part of Mastermind Humor, Real Estate Humor, and some other stuff, normally lab coats will pop up. I immediately go to decline, and there it is. And it's not like I'm sitting here like, haha, she's not in my group, whatever. Like, no, she's just not allowed to get in. That's the deal. That's it. Kim, she will get in. Like, I'm just looking to make sure. So one of the, I'm sorry, I forgot to go over this. So the question, and this is perfect. The questions I have are, where do you live? So if they post that they're like in I don't know, Texas, I will message them and say, hey, saw that you're looking to join my group. Thank you so much. Are you looking to move here? I'm not looking for a lead. I'm looking to see if they're actually here or will be moving here, because I don't want people that are from Texas that have no um, desire to be part of the group or be part of the community. That's going to bring down engagement. They buy a house, they plan to move here. I don't, it, yes, it's cool, but that's not why I'm looking. I'm looking to have engaged community members, period. Whether they're a realtor or not, I don't care. So she gets approved. I told you guys a question that Tristan asked me to add. It will come up very soon. It's not like some secret sauce, but it's very important to have. So 3 groups, I'm going to monitor that super quickly. So I'm looking at it, all good to go, not a realtor. Another one, I'm not going to keep going through all these basic ones. I'm looking for the one to give you guys what Tristan told me, which is to get them off of Facebook into another funnel of mine. Now, keep in mind, the funnel is not for me to sell them, is I'm asking them their email address. So here's the question. Drop your email here if you want to be part of my newsletter. It is not a required question. If they put it there, I then literally will take my phone or desktop, take a screenshot, send it to my VA to then upload it to MailChimp so they can be part of my newsletter, which I will show you guys before we leave here. So I will not approve that one yet because I need to take a screenshot. Of everyone, because this is a question I would ask, of everyone that joins or tries to join, I think I get around 30% willingly giving me their email address. They don't give it to me, I still let them in. It's not like you have to give it to me. You can make it required. That's on you. Totally cool. So here's Julia. No realtor groups, so she's probably not a realtor. I will approve it. Pending approval. So while I've been yapping here the entire time, here's one that came up. New playground, City of Phoenix. It'll probably get extremely low engagement. Still going to improve it because I will. I need workers right now. These posts are useless, so I will decline it. I will give feedback. Now, perfect example. They have already violated one of the rules. It doesn't show, I don't think, which rule. It just says they have violated it, which is you can't post job post or employment post because they get low engagement. I want highly engaging stuff that serves the community. Sure, people are looking for jobs. It's helpful. Over time, those posts are garbage. No one responds, bots respond, it's useless. So I'm not going to reject the post. I'm going to ban them. They have violated the rule. They're gone. They are useless to the group. This one approved, blah, 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 blah. I have no idea what this is, but it's probably garbage. And then another business post. So I'm going to decline this, give feedback, can't advertise your business, and share it, confirm. So time's coming close. Let's see. Awesome, Katie. Thanks for being here. So let's see. So my newsletter. So every Thursday, I will push out a newsletter. This is not real estate based. It is not for my real estate brand. This is strictly Living North Phoenix brand. Everyone who is requested to join my newsletter, which we're currently approaching around 5,000 people, I will put out a weekly newsletter. So quick thing here, have you joined our Facebook group? So there's a call to action in case they're getting here from another entity, website, or somewhere else. So I have a news article about drive-throughs from Chipotle. It's kind of dumb, but whatever. I couldn't think of anything. Someone in the group asked who has the best fries. So I personally tallied all the results. I came up with a blog showing those results, which is on my Living North Phoenix website. So I'm sharing content or creating content for my website, which is one of my channels. It's all here, whatever, it's stupid or not, whatever. And then I share it to my newsletter. So I'm using content in different channels, so I don't have to think of new stuff. And it's all there. And I didn't even think of it. Yes, I took the time to write it and tally the results. And then I have my business directory. Which I will show you guys real quickly. This is a super advanced kind of technique. I don't recommend it right away for this format. You can do it however you want for your regular real estate business on a, simple Word doc or Canva or whatever. But I have a plugin on the website that allows people to advertise here, paid or unpaid, through the different options that are there. So as an example, I have myself listed, an attorney, window coverings, health insurance, pest control, whatever. Going back to the newsletter, and then one of those people, the attorney, I created a spot for him to be at the bottom of the newsletter so he can get more branding, exposure, that kind of stuff. Let's see. So Lorraine, I use MailChimp to deliver it, and I create all the content. So Wednesday afternoon, I probably spent 30 minutes coming up with this content. So the blog I already had because I created it, and then the business directory I might use week over week for a couple weeks, and then the other stuff I found online. Katie, I have a VA that basically just takes those screenshots and puts it into a spreadsheet, and she's overseas. She does other stuff too, but that's the big thing here. So, um, let's see, Facebook group, website. So my other biggest thing, which I would say is super important, is when I created this group, and I know our time slot's over, so those of you guys that need to take off, thanks for being here. If you're sticking around for a couple minutes, I'll be here for a little bit longer. I got a jet in 15. Um, the biggest thing that I can share, or one of them, is this is not my first Facebook group. When my coach told me to start a group, I did. And the name of the group was, because I used to live in Chicago, uh, Chicagoans who live in Phoenix. I got people to join. I liked it because I love Chicago. I love the sports teams there, but it was pathetic. Like it couldn't do what I wanted it to do. Yes, I limited my audience, and you'll always limit your audience because if I do Phoenix, what if someone from Scottsdale wants to be in it? It's not the same, but it's the same. But Chicagoans who love Phoenix was a complete disaster, but I learned from it. So I tested it. So it took a while. I realized it. Then I had this group and I had my vision. And that's what I wanted to get across to you guys is just like your real estate businesses, or if you're a lender, title, home inspector, whatever, is know what your vision is or your mission and stick to that. And what is your passion? Uh, it is so massively important because I don't want a real estate group. I want a community group, might be based around real estate. And what it's becoming and what it will be is nowhere near what I could have first envisioned, but it is beyond amazing for the things that it's giving me as a personal reward and then what it's doing for the community. So, like, we're about to launch a nonprofit just from the Facebook group. We are doing our first golf tournament in three weeks from today. Uh, we're doing all these other things. I do happy hours. I do all this other stuff to bring the community together. And it's taking off far on far different levels than I could have ever imagined, but I absolutely love it. Your group might not be this type of community group. It might just be your past clients and it's different, but you can still get reward from it on whatever you're looking for. But make sure you have that vision lined up because then things might change and then you might be lost. Your vision could change, but it'll still be there. What is the number one lesson you learn first, or you learn from your group? There's so many. I will also say if your plan is to grow your group to get it to a bigger level, and again, my group isn't that big if you look at other community groups. I think it's more engaged, which I value more. But is protect yourself at all costs, meaning um, last year, Facebook restricted, and I get banned and I get restricted a lot on Facebook and other places, but uh, um, Facebook restricted the profile that I had that was the admin or moderator, I guess, for the group. So whatever I was posting in my group wasn't being seen. So then engagement went down. And then if I wanted to advertise something important like a happy hour, few people were seeing it. So I created another Facebook profile, which you check your Facebook rules to see if you can do it, because normally you have to be super careful. And then I added that Facebook profile, which is still me, as another moderator. And be careful when you do it. Don't just like have Katie Curling profile, create a group or set up a group, be moderator, create another Katie Curling profile, and add yourself. Facebook knows what you're doing. Don't do that. Create the profile, post on your own profile, spend a little time developing that profile, join the group, spend a little time, then have original Katie Curling uh, invite other Katie to join, and then have her post, have her do whatever, or you do it, and then add as moderator. So if anything ever happens to that initial profile, you still have a backup. Uh, and I don't want to say it's number one because I so value what people have trusted me in, whether it's business owners or community members, is just also try to take these people not out of the group, but into other places, like your website, whether it's a dedicated website or whatever, or a newsletter. So if anything ever, God forbid, happens to your Facebook group, you can still have them somewhere else. And I can't find the post quickly enough, but I literally made a post like, hey, I love our community. I really value you guys. I don't want us ever to get shut down, but if we do, I have a newsletter. I'd love for you to be a part of it. So if we ever do get shut down, at least we can communicate there. Now, I'll still have their email addresses and I can invite them to join. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it to sell them other stuff. I want their email addresses so they can be in other spots. So that's kind of it. I'm still here for a couple of minutes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for the questions. Let's see who's remaining. Wow, you guys stuck it out. Thank you so much. Let's see what else I can cover quickly. At this time, the website, it's not like getting me leads. I go in to see how much traffic there is. I'm very transparent, open. I can tell you the amount of traffic isn't that much, but a goal of mine is to make that the Google for our area. It's not going to outrank Google, but I'm going to try my best. So when people are looking for a North Phoenix insurance agent or travel agent, they're going to Google, this person will come up, then they will be on our website. They're going to be like, oh, what's this Living North Phoenix? They're going to scroll around and then eventually find other stuff, find the blogs that I posted about best French fries or whatever, and be like, oh, this is cool. He's a realtor. And yes, I do post in those blogs, or I'm starting to. Like if you're looking for a home in this area, here's some homes for sale, that kind of stuff, very passively, whatever. Katie, I post to it, and then I have a designer that developed it, and then we'll add plugins and other stuff. Because it's not been my priority yet, I didn't want to spend a ton of money on getting it to a higher level quicker. But again, it's livingnorthphoenix.com. You guys can check it out. I am trying to make it very SEO friendly. I have spent money for that. But as far as keeping it up, it's mostly me. So a little section about me. This is a picture of me from this event, Valley Palooza. And then down here, Discovering North Phoenix, all the different, or some of the different blogs that I've done, one about real estate. All of these are from posts in the group that people asked, where are the best tacos, best upscale restaurants. So I'm repurposing content from my group about other people's questions. Doesn't mean I won't use my own questions, but I will use other stuff too. One quick thing, this one is about an Italian restaurant. Owner's name is Fabio. Um, I basically went over to I on Facebook, I was like, hey, I see you have a restaurant. I'd love to interview you. There's no cost. I'm going to push all your stuff in my group and on social and website, blah, 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 blah. He's like, absolutely, come over. I interviewed him for 30 minutes, wrote down some notes, created a blog. And then while I was there, he's like, here's some free food. And I took pictures of the food, video, whatever, posted that everywhere. He was extremely grateful. Didn't do it to get a free meal out of it. I would have just, took pictures of the kitchen or whatever. But that was that. We do have a networking group. This is another arm of the brand and business. But in there, we'll have featured speakers. So I will share blogs. I will create content from when they speak about what they've talked about to create a blog to then share to the website because I want more content. I want SEO, I want value, I want content that gets people engaged. So I think that's it. If you guys have any other questions, pop them in the chat, unmute yourself, raise your hand, whatever it is, I'm here to answer for a couple more minutes. Thanks, Jake. I forgive you. Let's see. So Lorraine, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. David, thoughts on the moving to the area groups? My thoughts are just like doing an open house. If you guys like open houses and think they'll work, they'll work. My personal opinion, I know you asked my opinion. I always try to give two opinions though, is if you say moving to, then it's probably just real estate driven. They can work well, but I think you might be removing people who already live there. So it could be a little limiting. So if what you're talking about is like moving to Phoenix or moving to North Phoenix, I think you're limiting yourself a little bit. Because if I'm on Facebook scrolling and I see that group, it's called Moving to North Phoenix, but I live there, why would I want to click on it? So I like the living word, but if you're not talking specifically the word moving and just mean generally moving, fine. But ultimately, all of it works as long as your passion's right. Nancy, you're very welcome.
Can I say something?
Sure.
All right, I'd rather engage this way, but I think ultimately it's going to be how this will work is it has to match your vision. If your vision's not there, it's never going to work because you have no driving force. You have nothing you're working for. So if you want to target that moving to, like you said, you want to limit it there, then we're fine. For myself, we've already been building community. It's happening organically. So like this aligns perfectly with what I'm already doing. We're already hosting community events, but this is going to take it to the next level to where I can cover a whole territory versus just my neighborhood, right? But I want a community around me. I don't have family, and the community is an extension of that. So it works fine and it's organic. But if you, like I said, if your target is buyers, then moving to would be perfect. So I think it also what you're targeting and what you're set to do. Blair, one thing that you said from the get-go is this has never been about necessarily the leads. This is genuinely about the community and your care for the community, and it's a reflection of how you care. You keep realtors out to that way you're reaping what you sow.
It is, and I'll add this, and maybe this sounds sappy or stupid or like this is a salesperson. It's not meant to. Is the first Christmas when the group got to 1,000 or more people, or holiday, someone direct messaged me because they were afraid or embarrassed, I should say, to post it in the group that we don't stay in touch, but they were a grandmother at that time and they couldn't afford to get their kids or grandkids, I should say, holiday presents or Christmas presents. would I be okay posting in the group like, hey, there's someone who's reached out to me that, would like to give their family a wonderful holiday. Would you be so kind to give whatever you have? The community at that time, and again, the size of the group doesn't matter. Don't look at 29,000 and be like, oh, that's huge. I can't do it. Anyone can do whatever they want. It doesn't matter if it's 100 people or 100,000 people. Within a couple days, we ended up getting, maybe some of you, this isn't a huge amount of money or whatever. I say it is. We got about 500 bucks and a bunch of kids' toys. I reached out to that grandmother and I said, hey, I got them at my office. And it wasn't because it was real estate. That's just where I had it. She came by, picked it up. And I was like, oh my God, as a group, as an entity, we've now allowed this family to have a better Christmas or holiday. And to me, that's what the vision has been, will be, and will always be about. And I personally cannot probably get more of a heart fulfilled than that. That's what it's all about.
You gave them hope, above all, because like she was probably down and out, and you were the one. Like I always say, it looks like I'm a real estate agent, but I'm his agent. So it's like, you go where you're led. And so, yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much for this. This is amazing because this is exactly what I need.
Awesome. Well, I do have to take off. I'm sure you guys do too. Reach out to me on Facebook if you have questions. I will answer them. You can go look at the group. Stephen, thanks for being here. Like I said, unfortunately won't let you in, but if you ever want to Zoom, I can show you the back end again. But thanks for being here. Message me on Facebook, find me, call me, text me, whatever. I'm here to help. You guys have an awesome day, and thanks for being here.